Star Wars is in a hilarious downward spiral right now. Like, is there any other way to spin this? Like, what is there to be enthusiastic in the short term about? Oh, you got the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That's going to be so fantastic. I'm so glad we can continue on the momentum generated from season 3. Oh no. What about the most recent outing with the geez. Hey, but at least the last time that they were in theaters, they made over $1 billion. Rise of Skywalker still cleared that marker, even though it might have cost somewhere north of $400, $500, $600 million. And The Force Awakens made over $2 billion. And then by the conclusion of the sequel trilogy, half of the returns came back, half of the audience showed back up. No. It's Star Wars bigger, better than ever because we had all of those streaming shows in the interim between cinematic releases. Like, everybody remembers how great. Oh, right. Mandalorian season 1, that was fantastic, right? And then the second season had a bunch of key jangling that everybody's looking back at again and going, maybe it wasn't so great after all. But Ahsoka, oh my, it's getting a season 2. Everybody remembers what happened. He Vadered. It's red. It's Rex. Oh my God. He showed up as a fourth ghost at the end to look over his former apprentice, but not go check in with his son and warn about the impending invasion of the greatest threat since the dissolution of the Empire. Make that one make sense. Or how Obi-Wan can't find its way to a second season even though it was such a great success. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Star Wars is fine, but it's getting its own dedicated channel. Like the MCU, I can at least understand. There's been $1 billion hit. There's been a couple. One was not really Disney, and the other one was, all based on Fox properties. But hey, everybody's looking forward to Captain America 4, right? You loved the Thunderbolts trailer. You definitely didn't fall asleep and wonder who in the blue hell are the Thunderbolts. And I'm not just talking about the team. I'm looking at the people that comprise the team, and I don't remember any of you people. Like, what are we doing? Like, the Bucky's cool, but why is he fat and washing his arm in the dishwasher? That shit makes no sense at all. But you could understand an MCU channel. There's a lot of product that's over there, but a Star Wars dedicated channel, bro, that's normally what you do at a time when a franchise is thriving. This one, it's failing. It's failing hard. Disney's streaming service, Disney Plus, has sparked a mixed reaction after announcing a Star Wars and Marvel Cinematic Universe channel on the platform. The channel, Hits and Heroes, will be dedicated to films and content from Star Wars and Marvel catalogs. I guess I could kind of understand this one, but let's see if there's any speculation here. According to Bloomberg, in addition to Hits and Heroes, the Mouse House is introducing 3 other always-on channels to the streaming service for premium subscribers, including a nostalgia channel called Throwbacks, documentary channel called Real Life, and a seasonal channel called Hallow Stream. Okay, yeah, it'll be Hallow Stream, and then it'll be Hollow Stream but no, HOLI, or Holly Stream, because they don't want to call it Christmas because it's going to be the holiday season. Maybe they'll actually sack up and call it Streamsmas. Anyways, the content will play on a 24/7 loop, but will be updated monthly. But yeah, as it's pointed out, I thought that was already called Disney Plus, where, yeah, you can go ahead and pick everything on demand. But I guess they think so little of their audience where they just want to put something up so that people will, just click on it instead of just being frozen in a state of analysis or paralysis by analysis. It kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. But the Hits and Heroes channel, that kind of makes sense, right? Because in general, outside of, vast swaths of phase 4 and 5 and some of it, starting to leak in phase 3, the MCU, it cut its teeth. It made its bones. It became the biggest cinematic franchise of all time, eclipsing Star Wars. The fact that it was a male brand targeted towards males, and males continued to come to the cinema. Hell, even taking a look at phases 4 and 5 when it was the MCU in full swing, which it still very much is. Has anybody checked in on Agatha? Oh, that's what I thought. Nobody has. But it's gay and they drink wine or something. Ugh. But dudes watch superhero films. Not saying that women don't watch it or anything like that. It's just the women who like superhero films, they like them for being superhero films. When Disney and Marvel, and yeah, we can drag Lucasfilm in on this one, decided to start make their content for women, they took away the reasons that the women liked the content. They liked strong, powerful men and strong, powerful women who were good characters and happened to be male, happened to be female. They don't like the stuff when it's a strong, powerful woman at the expense of a man, in spite of being a female, simply being somebody in a cape or a costume or wearing a mask that is normally reserved for being a guy, but now they just have boobs. That somehow makes them better. Or on the Star Wars side of things, it's like, even nearly 50 years on, you hear labored breathing. You hear a mechanical huff and puff. You immediately make the connection that, oh shit, that's Vader. I can just say, your mind will be able to recreate the sound of a lightsaber turning on. And what's the first image that comes to mind? Is it Luke? Is it Vader? Or is it Reva? The OC self-insert for Deborah Chow, who ruined the Obi-Wan series. Or maybe it's Ahsoka if we're talking to Dave Filoni. No, people have problems, legitimate critiques, and are of course questioning, why would you have this always on channel? And if you do, and you go forward with this, what is it going to play? What's going to inspire people to continue to tune into this channel? Are you going to be playing the old stuff that made it famous? Or are you just going to try to recycle? Are you going to try to breathe new life into your other failed projects that, guess what, everybody despises? But according to an idiot, no. The only people that hate current day Star Wars, those just those evil men that are out there, right? Because Star Wars lead Daisy Ridley, who I was told not that long ago, she's based, bro. She's super based. Oh my god, she doesn't hate on the fans at all. Don't go back and listen to any of her interviews when she said that there are just some guys that are out there that are just misogynistic for saying that he's a Mary Sue. No, just to gloss over that because she said that, I don't really hear any sexist rhetoric in regards to, any in the Star Wars franchise. No. And then she comes out and say that I cannot change the way that some men see women in criticism of Rey's character. That kind of undercuts a lot of the stuff that people were saying, except for me when that quote was making the rounds and I provided the proof. I like to toot my own horn very often, but when your boy calls it right, he calls it right. The Star Wars franchise Rey actor, excuse me, that's Rey Palpatine. Let's get it correct, okay? Don't dead name Rey. She's claimed the name of somebody else, but in reality, she's always going to be a Palpatine. Daisy Ridley has revealed that she pays little attention to the more aggressive criticism of her character and her debilitating jaw condition that she can't close her mouth, because she accepts that she cannot change the way that some men look at women. Yeah, it's just those dastardly guys that are out there that despise Rey. I think that she's a poorly written character. I think Daisy Ridley is generally talentless, but Rey's an awful character. And when you say Rey, Star Wars is about the 75th thing people will think of. They might think of what? Ray Liotta? Ray Charles? Who arguably had a clearer vision on her character than Lucasfilm did. But you can say Luke, Han, or Leia, and people will immediately associate that with Star Wars. You say Rey, and they'll wonder if she has a cool mask, and if she's from the 619. The Sequel Trilogy star, I guess we're using the term star loosely, offered her thoughts on the topic while speaking to Gail Gowen, of the French entertainment news outlet Premiere, following her being honored with the 2024 Deville American Film Festival's New Hollywood Award. Yo, man, they're just making up awards at this point in time. I've never heard of that shit. And why would she be getting an award in 2024? What was she in? Itself given every year to an emerging actor or actress from tomorrow's cinema. Rey became a thing in 2015. It's almost a decade ago. Okay. Their time together began with a brief discussion regarding Ridley's decision to return to the Star Wars universe. Well, she might have made that decision. I'm just thinking Lucasfilm is having second thoughts, wherein the actress admitted that she has no obligation to once more take up a lightsaber, and did so only of her own volition. Well, mostly because it was the biggest bag available and nobody else was signing her up for shit. I was simply asked if I wanted to do it based on the idea without the story or even the script. It's mostly because, hey, would you like to play Rey again? We have this idea. Yes, I would love to play that. It's like, all right, we kind of thought, because your schedule appears to be wide open. Yeah, that's right, wide open. Whenever you want to film, it doesn't matter. Just sign me up. I can make myself available. And it's like, yeah, we know you can. And guess what? We have big things planned for Rey. And then Daisy said, I've heard that before. Hopefully you're serious this time. And Lucasfilm was like, yeah, sure, I guess we'll figure it out. But if I had not been convinced by the concept, the film would not have seen the light of day. I took the time to think about it for a day, and I said to myself that I had a great time on these films. Oh, it's as long as you had a lot of fun, Ray. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter that it totally gutted the OT, and it doesn't matter that it broke canon in a lot of different ways. It's as long as you had fun. God, I hate modern movie making. This new adventure seemed fun to me, so why say no? Exactly. Because if you're not going to do it, somebody else will. Not somebody else, some other chick. Also, she continued, there's a strange coincidence. Two people told me in the same week that they would love to know what Rey was doing now. Mostly, day trading, cleaning dishes, really getting in touch with herself. Oh no, what the character Rey is doing, I don't know, staring off into the twin sons of Tatooine and stealing somebody else's name. Don't really know after that. I don't know, maybe sweeping up the remains of Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen. I don't know. People really like Rey. Whoo! Sorry, there's a bird in here. I think this new film will be exciting and will advance the franchise in an interesting way. Yeah, because somebody's finally going to rebuild the Jedi Order and correct the wrongs that led to its ultimate downfall. It's a pity that nobody else would have came along during that time and done any of that stuff. We were just waiting for the great character of Rey to come along and do that. From there, the actress was pressed as to whether she had given any thought as to what Rey had gotten up to after Rise of Skywalker, and she bluntly admitted, I didn't care. Oh, she pulled out, right, because that's the closest association that she really has with the OT, because she accepted Han Solo as a mentor. I don't care. I felt like the story had wrapped up really nicely. Yeah, when you stole the crystals out of Luke and Leia's lightsaber, you stole their last name, you did what I was going to say Jake and Leia at the same time. You did what Jake Skywalker couldn't. You helped kill the last Solo that was out there. So yeah, instead you ended up becoming the Jedi. You became the last Skywalker because you stole their name. But yeah, it really did wrap up nicely with everybody laughing or dumbstruck as to what Star Wars has become. So Rey's return had to be worthwhile, and I think it is. It's a very different position. I was 21 when I did the first one, which is so hilarious. Yeah, I'm 32 now. I've done a shit all. And so I have a lot more experience on set. Really? Oh yeah, I understand, from, being the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed actress you were back in the cut to now. It's just, there's been a sizable gap between starring roles since 2019. So yeah, I understand. And so I have a lot more experience on set. It's very exciting to imagine how my current life will affect the character. Yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care how your current life will affect the character, mostly because we want to know what the character is. Actually, that's kind of what we want to know if there's going to be a Rey movie. Following the admission from Ridley that the spotlight felt less intimidating this time around, thanks to her experience having handled press tour duties for the sequel trilogy, the actor was eventually asked by Golan, the way that some fans received Rey was very violent. Violently negative emotions, perhaps. Yeah, this was all translated because this was all in French, I guess. Did you ever have that feeling? In turn, Ridley asserted, no. I think that certain people have expressed negativity, but I didn't give it much attention. Okay, cool. This could have been a great answer if it would have stopped there. Because it doesn't concern me. I can't change the way that some men look at women. Oh, god damn it, you had to follow it up. Rey! What do you do? Rey! Stop that, Rey! That's unfortunately how society functions, and then overall, I have been very well received. Right. I've made the choice to concentrate on the positive. What, did you get your AIDS test back? Oh my Christ. Bro, maybe there's a good reason that Rey movie is getting pushed off until, I don't know, by the time that the heat death of the universe encapsulates everything, because this is really not going to see the light of day, because nobody's asking for a Rey movie. Nobody cares about Rey. Nobody remembers Rey. By the time that this comes around, it's going to be a decade between the sequel and the sequel trilogy, because it's supposed to be episode 10, right? A new beginning. That's what we've heard is the leaked title of this stuff. We'll see what happens, man. Mostly, I think this is all going to center around whether or not Mandalorian and Grogu ends up turning a profit. I don't think it's going to be doing very well, and that's ultimately going to lead to what the future of the franchise is going to be at the cinematic level, or if Star Wars is just simply going to be reduced to a streaming channel on a failing service. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.